Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Game Changer is back once again. Special double upload today. I had to split the Lightning Flash update in two because there's a lot to talk about. And of course, like I've been saying for the past 2 months, college work, man. College work. I'm going to be getting that work in college, and then I'm going to be getting my work in on YouTube. All day, every day. Nevertheless, we're going to finish off the Lightning Flash update with the news, rumors, and reports, like always. So, my first report here on part 2 of the Lightning Flash update today is from Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer newsletter. They reported on Wrestling Observer Live that the Dean Ambrose heel turn was originally supposed to happen at Survivor Series, not this past Monday on Raw. But since Roman had to take time off to fight his battle with leukemia, the heel turn was done early. This was probably the perfect time for WWE to do it and make it special, because no one was expecting Dean Ambrose to turn heel. No one was expecting it to come right out of the gate after a great match like we saw on Monday Night Raw, and the fact that Roman revealed he had cancer and he had to relinquish the Universal Championship. So WWE did a very good job at really making this heel turn feel special. And the fact that they did it on the same night that Roman revealed that he had cancer, I'm not justifying the fact that Roman has cancer, as you see in my last video, but what I am justifying is WWE's ability to think on the fly. They did a very good job right here. I didn't think that they would have pulled together something good, or they would have brought something as good as a Dean Ambrose heel turn up this early. But I'm proud that they did, and I respect the fact that they were able to think of that so quickly. Because nowadays on the WWE main roster, just the slightest little thing could throw all their plans out the window. Or even if they have plans to begin with, Vince McMahon is basically thinking on the fly. He makes decisions and then changes them like that. We hear reports about that all the time. Where does this go? I don't know specifically. But if they want to, they can make this a main roster Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano feud. Because Ambrose right now, he is going to have maximum levels of heat. And with how over Rollins is as a babyface, this was the correct move. Like I said in part 1, I don't know if they're going to give the titles back to McIntyre and Ziggler. I don't know if they're going to get a rematch. I don't know if they're going to vacate the titles and they're going to have a match at Crown Jewel to decide new tag team champions. But what I know is what they did was the right decision. And I can't wait to see how it plays out going into the future. Another report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, by way of Cage Side Seats, comes from Bobby Lashley, or is about Bobby Lashley, rather. Bobby Lashley is currently working through an injury, but it is unclear what it is. So, by the looks of it, he didn't have to take time off. Kevin Owens was actually working through an injury not that long ago, so, he was able to make it to the Royal Rumble. And, everything turned out fine there. Maybe that had to do with what happened with Bobby Lashley. Maybe Kevin Owens had been injured for a while, but because he continued to compete, it got worse. Happened to the best of us. But I wish Kevin Owens a speedy recovery. He had to get double knee surgery, I heard. So he's going to be out at least until after WrestleMania. Maybe even he might be out till SummerSlam. Who knows? Sucks that both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are out. I was really looking forward to seeing what they could have done on Monday Night Raw. I was actually hoping that Sami Zayn would have been booked better, but again, when has WWE ever done right with Sami Zayn other than in NXT? But that's a different video, different time. That's another story. I don't want to get too caught up in the controversy, no pun intended. But we're going to move on to one of the biggest reports that I have other than the Dean Ambrose heel turn, and I really wanted to discuss this because it was laughable and factual at the same time. It was laughable and truthful at the same time. Alexa Bliss was recently on Lillian Garcia's podcast, Chasing Glory. Now, I have never listened to Lillian Garcia's podcast, nor do I really care about Lillian Garcia's podcast, but I found this report. I would think I was surfing through the internet, looking for the news, rumors, and reports, looking for some good ones to report on my show. And I came across this. Alexa Bliss has had 2 recent injuries that I know of. She had an arm injury after I think she suffered it at the hands of Ronda Rousey by mistake. I don't think Ronda Rousey hooked it properly where it was safe. But she had an arm injury, and it was recently announced that she got a concussion over at a live event facing Ronda Rousey. Now again, Ronda Rousey is a beginner. She's a beginner still. Just because she's this, mainstream figure doesn't mean that she is not prone to flaws. And Ronda Rousey is still a beginner, so she just needs to work on her timing. She needs to obviously work on the fact that she needs to be a little safer in the ring, because from what I've seen her do, she's extremely aggressive. Which is fine. It's fine, but you need to be aggressive to a certain point where, you're aggressive, but at the same point, you're being safe at the same time. But because of her recent injuries, there was speculation going around that that's why they changed the match at Evolution, because it was originally supposed to be Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus, but they changed it to Bliss and James, as in Mickie James versus Lita and Trish Stratus. It was originally supposed to be Mickie James versus Lita as well. So, she was on the podcast, and she revealed that the reason why they changed the match with Trish was not because of her recent injury. Bliss said that they were notified of the switch the day of, and there was no specific reason for it. Now, do I think Alexa Bliss is telling the truth? Yeah, I do think Alexa Bliss is telling the truth. That's probably what WWE told her. Yeah, they knew of the switch of the day, and there was no specific reason for it. I do believe that Alexa Bliss is telling the truth. But WWE management and the administrators are not telling the truth. They told it to Alexa Bliss because she's gullible. And what do I mean by that? Lend me your ear, and I will educate you. Bliss claims that they switched it for no specific reason. Now, I believe WWE told Bliss that, and that's what Bliss heard. But here's what WWE is not going to tell you. And let me tell you something. I, no offense to anyone, will actually take some offense to the, idiots out there in the wrestling community. But I am one of the most intelligent figures in the wrestling community. And, some may call it cockiness, some may call it, being a narcissist. Well, it's not narcissism if it's true. And it's true. But the reason why WWE really switched this is because just like Vince McMahon knew that Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar was going to be a shitty match, and the fans were going to shit on it, just like they shat on Roman and Lesnar at WrestleMania, they knew that Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus would have been an absolute horrendous match. That's how many other people have told you that? This came out a couple days ago, I believe. The reason why Alexa Bliss and Trish Stratus was changed is because WWE knew that this match would have been a shit match for a shit pay-per-view, and the crowd would have shit on it all throughout the match. Alexa Bliss is not good at wrestling. That may be a tough pill to swallow for all the Bliss fits out there, but you're going to have to suck it up and deal with it. Alexa Bliss has not had a good match since last year. Her last good match, singles-wise, was with Sasha Banks back at SummerSlam of 2017. Since then, she has not had one good match. She needs to be carried through her matches. I watch. I observe. I analyze. I look underneath the surface. This is what a lot of people aren't doing. The idiots are going to take this, and they're going to take it as, oh yeah, okay, Alexa Bliss, no specific reason. Those are the people that have been manipulated and brainwashed by the WWE system, and they're not going to look underneath the surface. Listen to what everybody has been saying. The majority of the people have been saying Alexa Bliss sucks in the ring. Her promos have become cringy. She has go-away heat. WWE knew that Alexa Bliss sucks in the ring. The only reason why they're catering to Alexa Bliss is because she is one of the hottest women on the roster. It's not that she can actually wrestle. It's because she's, picture perfect, small, perfectly in shape, blonde hair. Same reason why they put the title on Carmella. It is blatant favoritism, and a lot of people have said this. A lot of people have said that Alexa Bliss has been overpushed. A lot of people have said that Alexa Bliss has been just catered to this entire year. You take a look at how many days she has spent as champion ever since she came up. And she has spent over 400 days. Over 400 days as a champion. And I think she's only been on the main roster for about, 600, 700? That's more than Charlotte Flair. Think about that. If that doesn't spell catering to you, I don't know what to tell you there. The WWE knew that this match would have been absolutely terrible. A returning Trish Stratus, she's not in her prime. Though she looks like $1 million, and though I bet she can still go in the ring, she looked great in the Women's Royal Rumble, but she's not going to be the one to carry Alexa Bliss. I mean, just look at the match at Hell in a Cell with Ronda Rousey. That match went 12 minutes. That match sucked. If you think that match was anywhere near good, you are either lying to yourself or you are absolutely blinded by the system. You are absolutely blinded by the system. But I don't want to get too caught up in this. You already know. Look underneath the surface. Use your head. WWE knew that this match would have been jack shit. So they changed it. Why? Because you got Trish and Lita teaming with one another, and then you got Mickie James on the opposing team who can act as a protective barrier for Alexa Bliss's weaknesses. That's basically what Mickie James has been. Mickie James has almost been a protective barrier for Alexa Bliss's weaknesses. She's been taking all the bumps. Alexa Bliss has just been standing there looking pretty. The truth hurts. Cry me a river, Blissfits. As Baron Corbin said, I'll buy a boat and float down a river of your tears. And my final report, this is actually the biggest one. WrestleVotes confirmed that WWE issued a statement that they will be moving forward with Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. First off, WWE, you are a bunch of dumbasses for actually doing that. And you have really showed your true colors. Look, I get it. I get that, the people that paid their money to go there, the people that paid their money didn't necessarily do anything wrong. The kids that paid their money, the men that love to watch wrestling over there, they love wrestling and they want to see that entertainment. I'm not blaming them. I am blaming the actual people who did this. Specifically, whoever was in cahoots. I think like the Saudi Arabian government did it. They they tortured this journalist for 2 hours. And I think they found his body parts scattered all over the Prince's Garden, if I'm not mistaken. But yet WWE still went forth with this. That was a shit move. That was a shit move, WWE. You're not really building a good reputation for yourself. You just revealed yourselves, and we already knew you were selfish, greedy motherfuckers, but you really put the nail in the coffin there. I'm very disappointed with WWE. Morality's gone out the window. Morality's really gone out the window. But multiple sources, including Robbie Fox of Barstool Sports, reported that John Cena will not be at Crown Jewel. Good on John Cena. Good on John Cena. Sticking it to WWE. Now I don't know if Daniel Bryan's going to back out as well, because Daniel Bryan said he didn't want to go to Crown Jewel either in Saudi Arabia. But John Cena's not going to be there, so WWE is going to have to find a new replacement for John Cena. Who will that be? I don't know. If they were smart, they would do either Finn Balor or Drew McIntyre, because you can do a lot with Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre. Whatever even Elias. I wouldn't even mind Elias. But good on John Cena. John Cena did the right thing, backing out of Saudi Arabia, really showcasing what morality's all about. Sticking up for what's right. I applaud John Cena for doing that. And I don't even think it's just John Cena and Daniel Bryan, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't a few reports come out a couple weeks ago that the majority of the people booked for Saudi Arabia didn't even want to go to Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but at this rate, like I've said, WWE, I'm speechless at this rate. I really am speechless at this rate. WWE really made a shit decision. Seriously, think about this for a minute. Do you really think WWE is going to go bankrupt if they don't go forth with Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia? Seriously, they could have done it in the UK and they still would have gotten a shit ton of money. They could have done it anywhere and they would have gotten a shit ton of money. It's not like if you don't do it in Saudi Arabia, then you're going to be putting out entertainment for free. You're already giving the WWE Network away for free. Seriously. I've said this before and I will say it again. WWE is a company where the money is always going to be there. Doesn't matter whether the stock market rises, decreases or increases or goes to the side, up and down, hither and yon. Doesn't matter. WWE is a company where the money will always be there. Just because they don't do one show in a specific location doesn't mean they're going to go bankrupt. And if the stockholders are really this greedy, then shame on the stockholders. Shame on them, because I know that there's always going to be that one asshole that's going to be like, well, we need our money. It's going to be throwing morality right out the window. In those sea monster movies, there's always that one idiot. There's always that one idiot saying, oh, well, why don't we capture this beast, and why don't we study it? There's always that idiot in the stockholders team. There's always that one idiot. And in this case, I'm assuming that one idiot prevailed. It's a damn shame. It really is a damn shame. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this part of the Lightning Flash Update and the Lightning Flash Update as a whole. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into parts 1 and part 2 for the Lightning Flash Update. Like I said in the Lightning Flash Update part 1, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. We are trying to move up in the world, so I need you to give me that thumbs up. If you're giving a thumbs down, fuck you. I also want you to comment. Leave a comment, show some support. I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to give a huge punch. Give that subscribe button a KO punch. And I also want you to do a huge moonsault. Drop a moonsault on that notifications bell. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. Hopefully, I will have the rundown for Evolution up for you guys tomorrow. If I don't, I will, do my best to tweet out my predictions. I'll do whatever I can. Like I've said, college work. I got shifts at my job coming up, but I will do anything in my power to get the content up for you guys. If I can't, I can't. I'm also working on the 8th annual special edition Storm Stream next weekend. I'm trying to find a guest. When I find a guest, I will notify you about it. Hey, if you want to be a part of the Storm Stream, just hit me up on Twitter. DM me. Publicly tweet me. Hit me up on Instagram as well. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @DDJStorms. I'd be happy to have you as a guest on the Storm Stream. I'm always looking to interact with new people. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Lightning Flash Update. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you try to enjoy Evolution as of this moment. But I don't know how you're gonna. I'll see you guys.